Welcome, everyone. This is Fine Needles, and you're listening to LOTRO Players News, where we take a look at lasers in LOTRO and here at LOTRO Players. And this week we have with us Terry Edwin.
Hi.
Sanswinda.
Hello.
Guarendis.
Hello, everyone.
And Krister.
Hello.
Hello, everyone. And this week it's been a bit quiet because there's no news this week. The Beacon was not published this week because
Beacon was not lit.
it was not lit this week, right? The Beacon was not lit this week because Cordovan is on vacation this week and next week. So there won't be a Beacon next week either.
Nope. But they're still posting sales, so yay.
Yeah. Yes, in fact, we've got the summer sales are starting this week. So, Terry, what's on the sale?
So now through July 15th, you can get... Kindly move your cursor. Is it 30?
That's an odd offering.
I know, right? You can get... I couldn't read the number. You can get 30% off large Essence carry-alls, 50% off cosmetic outfit slots, and 75% off the Valor level boost to 120. And then for regular store sales, you get 30% off stat tomes, regeneration food, run speed boosts, and attack damage boosts also through the 15th. And if that's not good enough, you get a free universal ingredient pack times 10 with coupon code GetCrafty now through July 15th.
And that's it for the news this week. Yes.
Here's unofficial news, but next Saturday, so the 17th of July, on Landerval will be Weatherstock. I believe Druid's Fire said she was thinking about streaming it, but just thought I would shout out. If you have a tune and want to make it to the summit next Saturday, from when this a week from today, from when we're recording this.
Week from today. Yes. And just remember that if you do go onto the summit and wish to experience it right there, please set your graphics to low. I remember my first Weatherstock and I had not yet learned that lesson, just say.
And please don't use fireworks.
Don't use fireworks.
It's hard on the musicians.
Cloaks. Yes.
Hide your cloaks, hide your hats with fancy feathers, hide your pets.
Cosmetic pets, and or toggle them off.
Keep your AoE skills to yourself.
Hide your husband.
Yeah.
Just wanted to add hide your kids, hide your wife, hide your husbands. Oh yeah, hi guys. Sorry.
Someone snuck in.
I totally did. I am a ninja Balrog.
Keep your...
That means be careful there, or next week we will have ninja bits.
Oh, yeah, Krister, no, you cannot make me into bites. I am the bites that bite back.
You're the bites that bite back.
Yeah.
Right. With that, let's into our week in gaming for this week. And Killavathan, do you want to start, or are you completely blank?
Considering I just got here and we're already on weekly stuff. Yeah, skip me and come back.
All right. Krister, what have you been up to, and has it had anything to do with Balrogs?
It did indeed. Yeah, it's just like you were saying, it's been kind of a quiet, slow week, recovering from the heat wave over here in the West Coast. But on Fridays, we're keeping up our raids, and we did the Fall of Khazad-dûm last night, and we're once again successful. So it's turning out to be a pretty good run in terms of getting some really, really nice gear. And I've managed to get 2 of the title drops, basically 2 of the title upgrades, and they have been great upgrades. So Feeling good about the raid itself. Still missing that I can't cast Shield of Dunedain on myself, but I won't cry. I won't cry.
All right.
So,
what tier are you at?
well, we're doing tier 1 now, just because we don't have our full kin
Okay.
around. So we've been pugging a lot. So we just want to play it safe when we're pugging. The majority of us know what we're doing, but a lot of the people that we'll pug with, most of the time people will be able to get on to voice, but some of the times they don't. So we just try to keep it as simple as we can and just run the team runs to get used to it. But hopefully we're going to see the Kin's main raiders get back here, coming back around here soon. And then we're going to look at doing T2. And so, yeah, that's I'm terrified because that Balrog hits hard on T1. So it's going to be interesting to see what it does on the T2 runs. And then Minecraft. It's been fun playing Minecraft again after such a long time because there's so much new stuff. But one thing that I realized in playing Minecraft with you guys is that I just played Minecraft by myself all the time. So I do what I would term, it's chaos mining. And what chaos mining is you basically just drill down as fast as you can to the bottom, and then you just go off in a direction, and then you just stop, and maybe go up, and then go off in another direction, and then maybe you turn around, and then maybe you put your left foot in and take your left foot out. And then, so you do it. So basically, I did this in our at our island that we have out there. And unfortunately, my mining methodologies has actually resulted in death. And unfortunately, it was Pine Leaf that died when he turned a corner and was immediately immersed in one of my surprise lava excavations, which I didn't bother to cover up or make safe in any way, shape, or form. So.
Yes, toasted hobbit.
So I'm learning the etiquette.
Name? Krister, that hobbit's name for him was Pine Death.
Pine Death, Flame Feet. Flame Toes. Flame Feet. No. Okay, I'll figure it out. My other favorite moment had to do with, and Pine Leaf didn't die, but it was actually pretty hysterical when I was on the island walking around, and I can't remember who asked it, but somebody was asking, Pine Leaf, are you okay? And Pine Leaf calmly responded, yeah, I'm just having a problem. Like, I'm having a problem with my bees. And as he was saying it, I actually saw Pine Leaf, and the tree was on fire, and the grass was on fire, and I think Pine Leaf was on fire. And it was so hysterical to see everything on fire. Yet Pine Leaf kind of just calmly said, oh, yeah, just having a kind of a minor issue. Half the island burning down. That was really funny. So I've been enjoying my Minecraft adventures. And then I wanted to, World of Warcraft, EverQuest was the very first, I guess, like fantasy MMO I played. And I wanted to tell you guys the tale of one of my favorite characters. In EverQuest, he was a shaman named Brinewind. But before that, he was a D&D character of mine, a pen and paper character. And he was a barbarian who got his hands on a Wand of Wonder and then fancied himself a wizard after that. And so he would often use his Wand of Wonder right at the beginning of some major battle. And I just wanted to tell you guys a couple of the unfortunate outcomes. One was that right at the beginning of the climactic end of the campaign battle, I used the Wand of Wonder and an anvil appeared 30 feet above my head. Almost killed me, but took me out of the final battle completely before it even began. And then the other one was, of course, he unfortunately was turned. Not unfortunately, he was just turned into a woman in the middle of a battle, which complicated things for him quite a bit. And then, unfortunately, right after he was turned into a woman, he also started to leave tracks. His tracks started to resemble that of a young red dragon's, and so that caused a lot of issues for him as well. But his demise was particularly bittersweet because we were fighting a black dragon, and he used the Wand of Wonder, and he charmed himself into falling in love with the black dragon. And I almost convinced that black dragon to run off with me before it ate me and killed me. And that was the end of Prime. So I just wanted to share that story from my distant past. And what were you up to this week?
Well, my Hobbit Hunter finally has the Flickering Flame title. Thanks for shortening the D to SSG. Now to craft some fire oils. I got to thinking. I think she has the Hot Shot title too. So yeah, I can switch between them. In ESO, I leveled my rapport with my companion Mary enough on my main that I got her to do her 2 quests. I think the one landed at about. I'm wanting to say it was after 1500, and the other one was after 2500. So I got to know more about Miri. I can put her in my house now as a house guest. They actually give you that once you have the two quests with your companion, and I love her mom. Yeah. I love her mom. That's all. That's all I shall say. That way, if anybody ends up questioning, I don't want to be accused of spoilers. But I finally got the Bad Man's Hollow lead that I was talking about before. That I was after. Luanori and I went in there. Bless. He's like I was like I really want to try to get that lead. He got it earlier he got a lead anyway earlier in the dungeon. Thought it was that one. It was actually for the Wild Hunt Ring lead. But we had went looping around through the dungeon. There were other people running around. Somebody asking in his own chat about, is there anything you could do to improve RNG? You know, pray to RNGesus was the reply. It was like running through there. And took the portal and was like, oh yeah, that's right. The we already fought the boss, can't do anything, and was doing some fishing. He'd taken a phone call, and I went back over to the portal and popped through again, getting ready for him to come back. And there was a skeleton, one lone skeleton, wandering, wobbling like it was drunk or about to fall over, and I killed it and got the lead. So we left. The end. Now anyone for Rothgar world bosses? That's the only thing left. I have to go and kill large things that ogres normally have to deal with. I have no idea what I'm going to end up seeing on that one. I'm sure it'll be fun. Sans, what did you get up to this week?
That does sound like fun. This week in LOTRO, I rolled a new champion on Shadowfax, and I was kind of excited and then disappointed. I got a handkerchief, and it gave an improved run speed, and I was on Shadowfax, and this seemed fitting. The handkerchief gives a plus 6% run speed. I think Shadowfax should be showing us the meaning of speed here. 6% speed is not very speedy, but it was better than no % speed boost, so I took it. And I finished the intro, which was good. And I now have a champion with a res. Well, who will eventually have a res. So, that's pretty fun.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I did some spelunking in Minecraft. And lit up a lot of tunnels on our way through, trying to make them a little bit safer. Because creepers kept coming out of nowhere and blowing up. And that was a little bit unnerving. And it was also kind of fun, because I'm really proud of my iron mine that I made a week or two ago. It has filled almost a whole chest with iron in the few times that the server has been open. And so now when we find iron, we're like, who needs that anymore? Let's just go after this all-important coal and other materials that are down here. But it still feels weird to leave iron unmined. And I picked up Minecraft Dungeons to play with my nephew. It was his sincere birthday wish that we could play Minecraft Dungeons together. And so I picked up Minecraft Dungeons and I started 2 characters. Actually, I started 3 characters. And learned that playing at the same level as the person you're playing with is very helpful. And have been slowly working on gaining enough power on my higher level character to match his higher level character's power. And it's been kind of fun. It's very different than Minecraft though. And I'm not entirely sure how I feel about not having the use of my WASD keys. But it's been fun. So, we'll see, after I get a little bit further into that, what I think of it then. How was your week, Pineleaf?
Well, I was wondering about Calabathian.
Well, here's been my week. I have to apologize that none of this is Star Wars related. I will get back to the saga and the romance and the heartache probably soon enough. It just didn't happen this week for various reasons. However, LOTRO related stuff, sure. First things first. Friday was very eventful for various reasons. 1 second. There we go. I guess I should probably switch these two, but I totally picked up a new staff for my lore master on the academy from the curator because I wanted a cool staff for my lore master. And because the curator is here, by the way, which Guerra was the one that told me, Heisha now does have a hobby horse. Hooray!
Yay!
Yay!
She can now hobby horse around with everyone. You see what I did there? Horse around, hobby horse around. Hey. But yeah, so I got this staff from the curator on Arkenstone, and then I really didn't get to show it off. Also, when I was looking through like the list of I guess staves to try to find one that looks cool, I found several that, well, a couple of them require stuff that requires me to go into the rift. Probably not anytime soon on those, even though they look completely cool.
You don't want to run the rift?
Who am I going to run it with? I can run the rift by myself, but I will die. At least on Arkenstone I will. But yeah, I would totally run the rift for like the next 3.5 days because that's how long it takes to do it, I'm told. No, it's like 3 hours.
That's only 4 hours.
Oh,
4 hours.
Okay,
Well,
my
4
bad.
hours.
Yeah, 4 hours, yeah.
4
Okay.
hours for a good solid run.
What does it require you to do? Does it require you to trade with the giants or something in order to get it, or what?
One is the gleaming staff, and you get that. It's a drop from Thrang, who's in the rift.
Okay.
And there's another one that you can trade at Yorland's camp, but you have to get the fiery quartz, and you get that from Tharlok as a drop.
And there's no
So you don't have to
imitation of
finish
that
the
one.
rift. You just have to do like a couple of the earlier bosses.
Yeah. And then there's also Thrang's staff, which you get from the armory of Thrang. But yeah, needless to say, there's several, and there's like Ningon and Glingant, which I guess, you know, I mean, that's a little bit, that's even dim.
Calabathian?
Mhm.
Check when the Farmers Fair comes back. The Summerfest used to have that you could barter for the seasonal instance. One year they had the Thrang stuff, so.
Okay, I'll have a look. But yes, I was kind of looking through going, yes, this one's cool, this one's cool. And I did find one that you could get from the curator, and that was the replica of Ornadar. And so I got that one. But then I didn't get to show it off on the Academy because I guess I forgot about it. Also, on the Academy on Friday, we totally decided toward the end that because Cinders had joined us for the first time, and we were running new characters for the Academy because of that. I was actually running my little guy, Butty, who is usually he was made to run with Army and Leggy, you know, but he was level 8 when we started, and everyone else was a little bit higher. So by the end, we got that fixed. You know, he's a little better off. But we also decided that we wanted to get on Shadowfax, and we wanted to roll, you know, like a group of characters who were the same thing. And I'm kind of just nodding my head and everything. And at some point, I had said, "Hey, let's do champions and just mow over everything in the landscape." And then we discussed it a little bit more, and suddenly, someone goes, "Calabathian should be the one to decide what we are." And I'm like, "Oh, hey, put me on the spot. Joy." So yeah, I was like, champions. And so we decided that we would all roll champions on Shadowfax. I rolled a dwarf there, And I put him in yellow line, but he's only like in the intro, almost out of the intro, so it's not exactly like I can't switch over if I need to. Nothing is going to be safe on the landscape, though, and smite with impunity, my friends. Yes, champions, smite. True Facts, which is the cousin of Shadowfax, so I'm in good company. Yeah. Also, please note for LOTRO folks, I do not suggest that you do this. It gets very tiresome very quickly. Running your healer dailies in North Athelion in the Wastes for scrolls, level 74 scrolls, and then immediately going into summer festival stuff to get your tokens so you can buy all the pretty things. It gets a bit twitchy, but I soldier on. I also noted that they don't let us jump into the well at the Thirsty Seer because it's a bottomless pit of disappointment, probably. Also, since I was on the landscape, I also suddenly realized that the Haunt Reek, if you use a synonym, becomes Ghost Stench.
Well, it's hard to bathe.
Yeah. And I'm like, that actually what I started thinking about then, and it amused me greatly, was how, ghost stench, that must be someone who dies after falling into the bog of eternal stench. Because it hangs out with them forever. It's ghost stench. And finally, in Civ 6, Terry and I tried to take over the world versus a very wishy-washy Peter the Not-So-Great. He really needs to make up his mind about whether he likes my arts and culture or he doesn't, because he started out saying, "Ooh, hey, you're fit to emulate, kudos." And then all of a sudden he's, yelling at me because, I don't have enough, and then a little bit later on he's back to, "Hey, you're doing fine. I like it. Let's emulate you." And I'm just like and he's just south of me. Terry has already taken out the person that was on her side, and so I'm just
Philip.
like, really? Yeah, Philip. So now we're just kind of sitting there going, you know what? Yeah. But there was an interesting glitch that happened because he totally settled, Peter settled a new city, and it showed up in white, which was not his color, and in a strange way, like in a completely opposite direction to where he actually had settled it. And when I first saw where he had settled it, I actually thought, I was like, how did he have all this land, like literally south of my city, that I had over there? And I was kind of ticked off about that anyway. And then his actual name for the city was off over on the other side. And that was about when we decided to call it for the night, because I'm like, yeah, even the game is getting tired of this nonsense. So, But yeah, Pine. Finally, how about you? How was your week?
Right, I'll begin with my honor warden, who made a futile stand at the Black Gate, trying to hold back the onslaught of the enemy. And just when things look the worst, of course, they say, "See you in August for the next installment." So we'll see how that story goes. And over on the LPN Minecraft server, in addition to that little venture in getting lost in Krister's death trap that he calls a mine shaft, I had built what I'll call
Crispy
my
critter mine shaft.
yes. Yes. I was working on my skeleton farm Mark II, so I can't remember whether I started that before next week's show or not. But in any case, skeleton farm Mark II, because I had built one at our old location for a skeleton farm, and it wasn't a very efficient one. It didn't spawn them very efficiently, and it left them pretty strong. So I had to add a button with pistons in it eventually, in order so that you could eventually be able to kill the skeletons without taking 50 swings. So this one was set up so that it plopped down the skeleton, plopped it right in front of you, and then you give it one whack, and at most it'll take 2 whacks. Usually you're able to kill them in 1 whack. So a much improved skeleton farm that was in there. And I was doing most of the decoration of it, so it looked a lot better and be a lot safer in there because when I first built it, there was this big, long stair that you were able to go down to in order to get to it, but I suspect a lot of mobs would have also been able to get down to it, so I made it a whole lot safer so that you could get through and not have to worry about a creeper coming down and giving you a little gift of having to redo everything.
Thank you.
Yes.
Pine Leaf is the OSHA of Minecraft.
Well, after what Krister did to me, you can understand why.
I mean, somebody needs to be.
See, now that it sounds like there's intent. That I was down there in that shaft. I was like, I know Pine Leaf will come this way.
Well, you did mine pretty close to that spider spawner that I was planning on building.
I did, but I respected it. I did leave the spider spawner alone. That was the instruction I was given. So technically, I did what I was told.
Well,
Malicious compliance.
we'll see when I get around to building the spawner. And also in Minecraft, I was running the first 2 weeks of the July Mage Rage, where this month the theme for Mage Rage is a magic realm where we're able to transport ourselves to a magic realm. I don't mean the nether or the end, but this is a new dimension that was created just for Mage Rage. So I went in there and did some peeking into there in order to help me to get in there. And I will say that in this week's, the biggest thing that I learned is how long it takes copper to oxidize in Minecraft. Let's just say not as long as in the real world, but it does take some time.
Kind of like watching paint dry.
I would say that waiting for paint dry. Yeah, okay, I'll go with that one, even though I think watching copper oxidize will probably take even longer. And that concludes my week in LOTRO. Our top supporter this month is LOTRObuild.com. LOTRObuild.com is a collection of LOTRO databases that includes an items database, a relics database, and a titles database. Also, you can use it right from Discord through the LOTRO Build bot. We currently have 16 supporters on Patreon, and if you'd like to join this illustrious rate of players and help support LOTRO players, you can go to the donations page. You can support the Players Alliance on Patreon. Your money would be used for podcast hosting, website hosting, and to pay for our live shows. And if you would like to support without going through Patreon, you could contact Drac at lotraplayers.com. And so we have here, we do not have any emails this week, but if you'd like to send us one, you can send it to podcast at lotraplayers.com. You can also follow us on Twitter. The Players Alliance at Players Ally, LOTRO Players at LOTRO Players, Arendis at Arendis, Pineleaf at Pineleaf Needles, Sanswinda at Sanswinda, Teriadwin at Teriadwin, Guarendis at Guarendis, Calibathian at Calibathian, and Krister at Creating Unsafe Minds. The Players Alliance has 2 shows on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. U.S. Central Time. We have DDO Players News, and on Saturdays at 8:30 p.m. U.S. Central Time. We have LOTRO Players News. You can choice for our shows at lotraplayers.com/live. And that is all for tonight. And this is Pineleaf Needles reminding you to skirmish responsibly.